everybody, hope you're well. Today I'm gonna do a quick video talking about the iPhone XS. I've had this phone for about 4.5 years now. I bought the phone in September 2018 and it served me really well. I literally paid over £1,000 for this phone back then, which is incredible really, because that's just so much to pay for a phone, man. And yeah, it was literally almost had a few sleepless nights, like thinking, damn, did I did I spend did I spend that much hard-earned money on a phone, it's something that I'd for a good few months afterwards I was like, nah, that's that's ridiculous. But I did get some benefits from buying the phone. I got like points or something at the time, and yeah, so it wasn't that bad, but it was bad. So yeah, that's a lot of money to spend on a phone. But yeah, I really got my money's worth out of this, and I promised myself that I was going to keep this phone until it broke, basically. That was it. I was like, I paid too much money for this phone to replace it anytime soon. Hence, I ended up keeping the phone for such a long time. Now, I didn't really have that much intention of really buying a new phone. I did keep my eye out looking at various phones here and there, just to see what's new. But this phone was serving me very, very well with all of the features and the updates from Apple, which kind of kept this phone quite fresh. The screen is nice and bright. It's got a fantastic camera. Bear with me 1 second. Just unlock this. So yeah, the screen is really nice and sharp. The camera is really good. So as you can see, camera is solid. And yeah, I just think that this phone is just really good. And the reason why I bought a new phone is because I dropped this phone down the radiator about a month or two ago. So basically, yeah, I just dropped it down the back of the radiator by accident, and I had a case on it, believe it or not, and somehow some piece of metal behind the radiator had jammed. It hit the piece of metal behind the radiator so hard that it literally jammed the power button. And that's a problem, because if you can't switch the phone on and off, and the phone knows when the power button is jammed, and it just sends the phone into this kind of lock mode that you can't, it's just weird. So I think they do that for security purposes, etc, etc, I think. But nonetheless, it meant that I was forced to buy a new phone, really, because I couldn't go days without a phone, because I live in the modern world, man. You need to be able to receive, make phone calls, and so on and so forth. So ultimately, I ended up buying an iPhone 13, which I have here. Well, I'm actually filming from this phone here. So but I have the case for it, and I just brought the case up to just say that Apple was just doing really good cases. Like I think, I'm sure Android cases are like this now as well, but Apple was smashing it with the cases, because when this turned up in the post, I was like, damn, is that it? Or because the case, I know it's a few years back, but for example, the case that this phone came in was probably double or triple the size of this case, because they included I think they included the power adapter in them back then, or the charger. something like that, headphones, charger, and things like that. So, and there was more packaging in the case, but things have since moved on to these slimline cases, which I'm a massive fan of. I really loved this. When I saw this, I took this out of the packet when it arrived in the post. I was really impressed with the slimline case. But back to this phone. Let me unlock this. Yeah, I can't fault this. You know, obviously things have moved on a bit. You got you know, the 5G. You have you know, you got 5G. You've got the screens are brighter now on the phones. You know, the processors are faster. The screens are brighter now. You know, I think the speakers are, you know, lighter, louder, and probably better quality than they were before. But truth, and also battery life is better now. But truth be told, oh yeah, and MagSafe as well. Yes, so there have been quite a few advancements, but then they're all nice to haves. Really, ultimately, they're all nice to haves. All of the basics are covered very, very, very well with this phone. And this phone is absolutely beautiful. I love how well constructed this phone is. It's a solid, heavy phone. It's got aluminium around here, or steel, so steel around the outside of the phone case, the phone itself. It's got a telephoto type lens, so you know you can zoom in and out. For example, oops, that's the torch. So that you can zoom in, zoom out. Which I'm a big fan of this. I love this, and this is one thing that I think the iPhone 13 is missing. And even the iPhone 14 is missing, is the ability to optical zoom in. So you can, to be able to zoom in, I think, you know, I'd love to have that on this phone, because it zooms out, which is quite handy, you know, if you're going out and you're in a big group and, you know, it's photo time, selfie time, you know what I mean? There's loads of people in the picture and you want to get everyone into the picture and stuff. You know, I completely understand that. But nonetheless, I would have loved. I am actually a bigger fan of the zoom, the 2x zoom, optical zoom on here, because when you go out to, you know, like maybe you go somewhere where you've got like really nice buildings, or you know you're on holiday or something like that, you can zoom in. I really find that really helpful, that zoom in thing, even more useful than zooming out, which this phone has. But you know, it's not a big deal. It's not a deal breaker. It's more of a nice to have. So you know, generally all is good with it. And with the iPhone 13, I'm extremely impressed with it. I'm extremely impressed with the phone, even though the phone's been out about a year and a half now, and it's just a massive step up from the XS. Generally, now this phone is the best. I believe this is the best designed, aesthetically, the best designed iPhone ever. And you know, I thought about selling this phone, and I think I'd get a good amount of money for it, like a couple of £100. And you know, a couple of £100 isn't to be sniffed at. You know, that's not, you know, that's not exactly chump change, you know. But you know, I flipping love this phone. It's just beautiful. Aesthetically, it's absolutely stunning, in my opinion. But you know, I can't really bring myself to sell it.